So Amber Heard has been caught in yet another lie, and it's probably one you weren't expecting. Because this one actually doesn't have anything to do with the trial that we've all been listening to over the past couple of months. This lie is actually from a 2010 magazine print of a journalist interviewing Amber after a recent film that she'd been in. And as much as I did try and research, I can't actually find any copies of this across the internet, and the screenshot I've got was actually from the Justice for Johnny Depp Reddit. And let's just get straight into breaking down all of these lies. So it starts off with the writer saying, after living out of 2 suitcases for over a year, the Texas native is finally back home, outside of a deli in a picturesque retail district nestled in the flatlands of bustling Los Angeles. Heard is parking her old-school vintage cruiser, complete with a wicker basket for transporting her pint-sized Yorkie. And the meaning of anything pint-sized relating to Amber Heard and Johnny Depp just brings about the mega pint quote from Johnny. It goes on to say, she radiates with undeniable star quality. Probably more like narcissism, to be honest. And the world is catching on. Dressed in a long black skirt with her blonde hair thrown into an effortless ponytail, the Texas-born actress appears girly and delicate. But looks can be deceiving. Now, that aged like fine wine. Heard is no softie, and don't we all know it? The bracelet she wears around her wrist is engraved with the words that denote a certain strength of character, tomorrow is another day, which to me kind of reminds me of how she didn't want to be called another victim during the Johnny Depp trial, and she feels like she has some sort of resilience that is admirable, but it just kind of comes off as aggressive most of the time. And guys and gals, this is where it starts to get crazy. The writer goes on to say, Heard is resilient. Crazy things have happened to her within the past few months. She's had her hotel room broken into, personal belongings stolen, and someone rummaged through her trailer. According to Heard, she's been picked up in Eastern Europe, arrested, kidnapped, and mugged. She's also been held at knife point by a cab driver who was after the contents of a purse in the middle of Santiago, Chile. Not one to take things lying down, Heard retaliated in high heels and all, and none of this happened in a movie. And so she's claiming to have been kidnapped, mugged, arrested, and held at knife point, and none of this has ever been mentioned since this article that came out in 2010. And this was a physical print, so there's no copies of it online. No wonder no one else is talking about it. Then Heard is quoted saying, when I did realise we were headed nowhere, I started asking questions, says Heard. With each question, the driver became visibly agitated, eventually pulling a big hunting knife on Heard and a friend. How they managed to get out of the situation still surprises the actress. We survived and somehow managed to win by fighting the commotion caused our attacker to lose focus, she explains. As neighbouring homes in the distance began turning on their lights, the cab driver fled empty-handed, leading the woman stranded without any means of transport back to safety. And there's just so many questions I have, and there's so many holes in this story. So 1 minute they're driving, then she starts asking questions, and he's still driving, and he manages to pull out a big hunting knife on Heard and a friend. And also while still driving, no mention of how whilst fighting back, it, somehow didn't cause the car to swerve or anything like that. She says that they fought and the commotion caused our attacker to lose focus. And I don't know if I was you, but if I'm in the middle of fighting someone who clearly knows that you're about to try and kidnap them, if you're the attacker now, you've got your knife, your supposed victim is fighting back, I don't think that's the moment you're about to lose focus. If anything, that's probably the point at which your focus is heightened to a maximum. And it's not like she's describing they were doing something subversive. She's saying that they were fighting, and during a physical fight, it's not like there's many chances for you to lose focus. And again, this is all happening whilst he's supposedly still driving. And despite this commotion being contained within the cab, somehow neighbouring homes in the distance actually turn on their lights, and somehow now the cab driver is outside, they've stopped the car, and he's running away empty-handed. Like, what? It just again speaks volumes to how accurate probably Dr. Curry's testimony was, to how she exaggerates things, uses flowery language, and presents herself to be something she completely is the opposite of, and in this case, it's a liar. The article then goes on to present Heard as some kind of superhero, Quick to recover from what some may call a scarring experience, Heard made it back to her hotel that night in time to have a drink at the bar. Needless to say, life on the road for Heard has both been chaotic and exciting. Why is mugging and being held at knife point now being considered exciting? But despite a rather grueling schedule, home was never far from the mind. And it just goes on then to describe more of the movie. But something I've just realised, if this is true and she was held at something like knife point by a big hunting knife, by someone who was attempting to kidnap and potentially murder her, why would she have given Johnny an engraved hunting knife as a gift? There's just so many flaws to this story, and unfortunately none of them will probably see the light of day to many people who still blatantly follow her and believe that she told the truth. But let me know what you think about this story and whether you believe any of it. Maybe I'm being a bit too much critical because I've got potentially biased after everything that was told throughout the trial, but thank you so much if you've made it to the end, and hopefully I'll see you around in the next one. Bye!